January 11th, on this day, in 49, Julius Caesar led his army across the Rubicon River, a decisive act that plunged Rome into civil war. In 630, Prophet Muhammad set out with an army of 10,000 to conquer Mecca, marking a pivotal moment in Islamic history. In 1599, Jacob van Eyck's fleet departed from Bantam, Java, now part of Indonesia, carrying 1 million pounds of pepper and cloves, along with nutmeg, mace, and cinnamon, highlighting the lucrative spice trade between Asia and Europe. In 1755, Alexander Hamilton, who would become the first Secretary of the United States Treasury, was born in the British West Indies. In 1843, Francis Scott Key, author of The Star-Spangled Banner, passed away in Baltimore, leaving behind a lasting American anthem. In 1861, Alabama seceded from the Union, becoming the fourth state to do so ahead of the American Civil War. In 1862, President Abraham Lincoln accepted Simon Cameron's resignation as Secretary of War, a significant change during the Civil War period. In 1864, H. George Selfridge, founder of Selfridge and Company, popularized the phrase, "The customer is always right," shaping modern retail culture. In 1878, milk was delivered for the first time in glass bottles in New York City, improving sanitation and storage in urban areas. In 1879, the Anglo-Zulu War began as British Lieutenant General Lord Chelmsford invaded Zululand in South Africa, marking the start of a major colonial conflict. In 1887, at Fort Smith, Arkansas, hangman George Maladon executed 4 individuals in a multiple hanging, reflecting the era's harsh criminal justice practices. In 1903, South African novelist Alan Paton, author of Cry the Beloved Country, was born, becoming a prominent voice against apartheid. In 1904, British troops massacred 1,000 dervishes in Somaliland as part of the colonial conflicts in East Africa. In 1916, Russian General Yudenich launched a winter offensive during World War I, advancing west against the Ottoman Empire. In 1922, insulin was first used on humans when Frederick Banting injected 14-year-old Canadian Leonard Thompson to treat his diabetes. This breakthrough marked a turning point in diabetes care. In 1923, French forces entered the town of Essen in the Ruhr Valley to extract Germany's resources as war payments after World War I, escalating tensions in post-war Europe. In 1927, Louis B. Mayer, head of the MGM film studio, announced the creation of the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, which would later establish the Oscars. In 1934, German police raided the homes of dissident clergy in Berlin as part of the Nazi regime's crackdown on religious and political opposition. In 1940, Benjamin O. Davis, Sr. became the United States Army's first black general, paving the way for his son, who would also become a general. In 1941, Adolf Hitler ordered German forces to prepare to enter North Africa to assist the Italian military effort, marking the establishment of the Afrika Korps. In 1942, Japan invaded the Dutch East Indies at Borneo, expanding its control in the Pacific during World War II. In 1949, negotiations began in China between the nationalists and communists, as the city of Tientsin was virtually lost to the communists. In 1952, American golfer Ben Crenshaw was born. Nicknamed Gentle Ben, he would go on to win the Masters tournament twice. In 1963, the Beatles released their single, Please Please Me, with Ask Me Why, which climbed the charts to number 2 in the United Kingdom and number 3 in the United States. In 1964, United States Surgeon General Luther Terry released the first official report linking smoking to major health risks, including lung cancer, prompting widespread public health campaigns. In 1964, a collection of previously unseen paintings by Pablo Picasso was exhibited for the first time in Toronto, introducing new works to the public. In 1980, Honda announced plans to build the first Japanese-owned passenger car assembly plant in the United States, choosing Ohio as its site and paving the way for greater international investment in American manufacturing. In 1994, the Irish government announced the end of a 15-year broadcasting ban on the Irish Republican Army and its political affiliate, Sinn Féin, marking a significant shift in media and political policy. In 2003, Illinois Governor George Ryan commuted the death sentences of 167 prisoners on the state's death row, following revelations of widespread misconduct, including torture by Chicago police. In 2008, New Zealand mountaineer Sir Edmund Hillary, who alongside Tenzing Norgay was the first to summit Mount Everest, passed away at the age of 88. In 2014, Israeli general and politician Ariel Sharon, a central figure in the Arab-Israeli wars and prime minister from 2001 to 2006, died at age 85, 8 years after suffering a debilitating stroke.
Subscribe so you don't miss tomorrow's events.